What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Oh my God, are there levels to this? Tomorrow marks the end of I don't even know if we can even call it an era. Marks the end of a small chapter in gaming. Google Stadia shuts down tomorrow. I'm still disappointed at this news. There's no secret that I've been on this channel. I've spoken positively about Stadia. I supported Stadia before. Stadia is what got me to even believe into cloud gaming. I always give a shout out to MM2K. That's the man that told me put my money where my mouth is, and he got me a Stadia. He said try it out before you talk trash about cloud gaming. Because at the time I was dissing cloud gaming based off of xCloud, but Stadia actually worked. Stadia actually worked the way it was advertised. You could play Stadia and legitimately forget that you were playing on the cloud. You could play Stadia almost anywhere. I never questioned whether or not Stadia was going to work. But so many things were missed by Google when it came to Stadia. And maybe it's a situation where they didn't get someone that really understood what gamers wanted. Maybe that's why it failed. Also feel like Google just gave up, which a lot of you warned that Google gives up on stuff all the time. And maybe that's part of their genius, the fact that if they don't see something working, they're okay with giving up on it and moving on to the next thing. They don't waste too many resources on something if it's not working. They're ready to move on and let go. But man, this could have been something incredibly special. A lot of you don't see what this means when Stadia, which is hands down, technologically speaking, the best cloud gaming service, meaning it works perfect. Trust me, I promise you, I have all of them. It works better than all of them. The one that I would put probably second close would be Luna. That's it. xCloud is too hit or miss. I'm sorry. And I'm an Xbox fan. xCloud's too hit or miss. GeForce Now, same things, too hit or miss. And then the fact that I gotta sign into these platforms sometimes, I gotta sign into Ubisoft or whatever to play the game. That's annoying. It's not intuitive. Stadia just worked. It worked well. Worked on your phone. Worked on the browser. Worked on your TV. It just worked well, and it lived up to the promise of cloud gaming, making it feel like you're playing on a console. But now that Stadia is gone, you only have to be as good as your competition. So these cloud gaming services don't have to get better. I so we're probably going to continue seeing mediocre cloud gaming services. And if that's the case, then I will stand next to you and tell you that I do not recommend cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is just the way Xbox does it is perfect. It's just something extra that they're calling it beta, so you don't have to have any expectation for it. When you're paying for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you're not paying for xCloud because you know that xCloud is just something extra. You're paying for the access to be able to play on PC, be able to play on your console, and everything else that comes with it. GeForce Now, I went ahead and I got the highest tier GeForce Now with the 3080 and everything. It doesn't matter if the game looks amazing because it's running on a 3080 if there's still a ridiculous amount of input lag. If it still gets pixelated because of the signal that comes through. That doesn't matter. Stadia worked. They didn't know how to market it. That's how are you how that this that's probably what blows my mind the most. How are you Google? The one that probably collects the most information about us, and you didn't know how to market this to us? You didn't know how to market it to the demographics of gamer. And then the excuse that I see sometimes is, it came out during the wrong time because of the pandemic, everything. This was the perfect time for Google Stadia. People couldn't get their hands on consoles. This was literally the perfect time for a cloud-based gaming service to come out. People were having a difficult time to get the console. You know who were getting consoles? People that really wanted consoles. People that were willing to stay up and just click on a website over and over again. People that were willing to pay scalpers. People that were willing to sign up for programs where you might get an email invite, whatever. Those are the people that got consoles at the beginning of this generation. For everybody else, if you wanted to play next gen game, all you needed was a Gmail and a web browser and Google. You missed that opportunity. How? How did you miss that marketing? And then the games. I don't. Who were they trying to target these games towards? All Google Stadia needed, all they needed was maybe 6 to 7 games that were available on the service, and it would have been a tremendous hit. If they would have had Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, FIFA, Madden, 2K. Yep. Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite, FIFA, Madden, 2K. If they just would have put all their money into making sure that they had those 6 games available on that service, everything else just would have been extra. But you could have purchased those 6 games on that service or had access to those 6 games because 3 of them are free to play. Oh my God, it would have blown up. Could you imagine being able to play the newest Madden, but you don't have to worry about purchasing the newest console? And I said it before while Google Stadia was still quote unquote alive. I said it how partially to blame are the Stadia gamers that would tell Google that everything is fine. I remember being on different channels. Shout out to you, Cowboy. I know Cowboy is doing his tribute to Stadia, but you were one of the ones that used to say, I remember this vividly. The company's only 2 years old. The company is only 3 years old. How is it going to have games? How are you going to compare it to? That's the problem. That's the problem. Stadia already had a uphill battle trying to convince people that cloud gaming was something that was viable. But you didn't have the games that most people played. I don't know how you would even argue that Google didn't have the money to do it because it's Google. The thing is, they didn't. I'm assuming they saw that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, or maybe they figured they could sell the technology to somebody else and make money that way. But I'm disappointed. I really am. I am disappointed. Don't again, one of the beautiful things about Google Stadia, if it would have stayed true to what it was supposed to be, was the fact that no more upgrading hardware. They're already talking about the mid-gen console refresh. For what? For these 30 frames per second consoles? For these consoles that these developers aren't even fully optimizing for? You're already gonna come out with a next-gen refresh? For what? We wouldn't have had to dealt with that if it was cloud-based that actually worked, because they're upgrading their software, their hardware on that side. This is a crazy miss, man. There's nothing we could do about it now because it's going out. I guess the one positive thing about this is proof, full evidence that if gamers don't support something, whatever that thing is won't thrive. This is proof. So if you are actually against subscription service, like if you really are against subscription services, then you shouldn't be subscribing to any gaming subscription services. That makes sense, right? Because again, they're going to follow the money if it makes sense. If You are anti $70 games, then you shouldn't be purchasing $70 games. If you are anti games coming out at 30 frames, then you shouldn't pay for the games when they're 30 frames per second. Whatever you're anti against, microtransactions, whatever, pay to win, whatever. This is a clear evidence that if you don't support it with your money, then eventually they'll get the point. Extremely disheartening what's happening in Stadia though. Because again, now these cloud gaming services, they only got to be a little bit better than each other. And when it comes to the experience of Stadia, it was that much more farther ahead than any other cloud gaming service. But now here we are, 2023. Tomorrow is the end of Stadia, depending on when you're watching it. It might be today. And Google just flat out gave up on it. Warzone, Fortnite, Apex Legends, FIFA, 2K, Madden. All they needed was a 6 game library. They would have focused on that. If they would have focused on that as their core, and they would have sold it as, hey, casuals, you don't have to worry about purchasing a next gen console, because the hardcore gamers, whatever, you're gonna get those later on. Those are gonna stick to. Come on, man. We like dinosaurs. We like what we like. We're gonna stick to the hardware. But for everybody else that just wants to play Madden from time to time, that just wants to play Warzone from time to time, come on, man. You could have had it, Google. How did they miss this? How did they drop the ball so bad? Now they resorted. This is hilarious. The last resort. This now turns into a Bluetooth controller. For what? To play what? For what? That's a joke. Dog 1985. Oh, there's levels to this. Now what do we do as far as cloud gaming goes? I can't recommend it. There's not one cloud gaming service I could recommend, and I had the highest tier of GeForce Now. You want to play on the go? The Nintendo Switch is the way to do it. Dog 1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.